From our studio in Georgetown, this is the TV Delmarva Channel 14 News at 4.
Good day, Delmarva. Reporter Rob Petrie here for TV Delmarva Channel 14 News. Straight ahead, a proposal to build a tiny home community to help the homeless in Georgetown was considered during a town council meeting Monday night. A Frankford man has been arrested on drug charges in Millsboro, and gas prices soar yet again overnight. We speak to AAA Mid-Atlantic coming up. These stories and more on the way, but weather first with Hunter Alton.
Good Tuesday afternoon, Delmarva. I hope everyone is enjoying the very warm day across the region. Now, this morning we did wake up to some areas of some patchy fog and some fairly mild temperatures too, almost 60 degrees in some locations. But as the day went on, we've seen much more sunshine, and then it's allowed temperatures to really be nice and comfortable here going into this afternoon. Taking a live look outside of TV Delmarva studios here in Georgetown, we're now starting to see an increase in those clouds out ahead of this cold front, but still some very mild temperatures out there. Currently 76 degrees here in Georgetown. Take a look at some radar with Viper 14. We could start to see the leading edge of that cold front making its way through central Virginia at this hour, and we do have some thunderstorms that are popping up along that line as well, from Culpeper, Orange, Charlottesville, and just west of Richmond. Now, there is a small chance of an isolated thunderstorm when this front comes through in the next couple of hours, but the best chance of seeing a thunderstorm here on the shore is going to be on the southern portions of Delmarva in the Virginia counties, where we have a little bit of the best instability in place here on the shore, and there is a severe thunderstorm watch just to our west down in Toba Hancock and Saluda. Now let's have a look at what else is going on here on Delmarva. We've been seeing a little bit of a warm spot for areas of central and southern Delmarva, where they've been seeing a little bit more sunshine this afternoon, and noticeably warmer temperatures too. Currently 77 in Salisbury, 76 in Pocomoke City. A little bit cooler along the coast in Ocean City at 67, almost near 80 degrees right now in Exmoor, 73 for Cape Charles, but for areas a little bit further north, we've been seeing more cloud cover. 66 right now in Easton and Centerville, 69 for Dover and Wilmington, and currently 67 degrees up north in Newark. We've been seeing an increase in those dew points, generally on average upper 50s to low 60s for the central and northern portions of the shore, but we are seeing some dew points in the mid 60s in areas of Salisbury, Pocomoke City, as well as down in Exmoor. This is the reason why that they have the better chance of seeing maybe an isolated thunderstorm during the evening hours tonight, with a little bit of extra instability in place. Take a look at sustained winds. Generally has been from the north and west between 5 and 10 miles per hour for pretty much everybody here on the shore, but we have been seeing some wind gusts as high as 15 miles per hour. Currently gusting to 14 here in Georgetown, 15 for Salisbury, 14 miles per hour for Pocomoke City, Easton, and Dover. Currently gusting to 15 in Centerville, 17 up north in Wilmington, and currently gusting to 19 miles per hour in Newark. Now, we are going to be expecting some scattered showers tonight with that cold front moving through, but we are going to be cooling things down once that happens, and we're going to be looking at an increase in those winds over the next couple of days with below average temperatures in the forecast to finish out this week. I'll have all the details of what to expect tonight here on Delmarva regarding that cold front and shower chances here in just a little bit.
Back in January, we first told you about the Springboard Collaborative, a coalition to build pallet homes in a small community to combat Georgetown's homelessness and to help those in need. Well, the Georgetown City Council met last night to pay for those homes. Our Jonathan Mistrat has been following this story very closely and has this report.
Georgetown City Council heard from Judson Malone with the Springboard Collaborative on its plan to build several pallet homes in a planned community proposed in the 400 block of North Kimmy Street. The community would offer temporary homes and offer services with the goal to get those in need on their feet with mental health, justice system reentry, and substance abuse services available on site.
And it has basic elements. It has dignified sleeping cabinets. And we're proposing approximately 40 of these individual cabins to be on the property. It has communal bathrooms. It has community rooms where people can gather, where they can get their meals. And then it has, very importantly, service offices. The Springboard Collaborative will have staff there, but we also are developing a care team of those same organizations that we were in the room meeting, with to try to resolve these issues, to provide various services.
The proposal calls for the town to give $500,000 to the collaborative that would go exclusively towards purchasing these pallet homes. However, the council motioned to table the proposal until next week to decide where the money would come from. Councilwoman Angela Townsend seemed to be opposed to the plan, even leaning into the idea that the money could go to better use.
I would like to get more input from our constituents, our residents in town.
Right.
I see where there is a need, and I appreciate. I think about the $500,000. That's a big chunk of money to give that could perhaps be used for something else as far as the town goes.
Well, as long as it meets the COVID requirements.
Correct, yes,
guidelines.
definitely.
Yep.
But I mean, $500,000, and from comments that I've heard from my constituents, they're not for it. So I'm hoping you could do another presentation, contact all the property owners in Georgetown. The town would work with you getting mailing addresses, whatever is needed, but to give another presentation for more
The
input.
hope was that you would be doing that with your constituents, and you said that you have heard from some of them, but they didn't come to the meeting.
No, not everybody does Facebook. We have a lot of elderly here that do not do Facebook. They don't even do email.
Mayor Bill West spoke in favor of the plan because it would be a win-win for the town.
Because it's only going to do two things. It's going to help them to be better people, and it's going to help us as a better community. So to say we're not going to do nothing or hope they'll move on, that ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen because the resources they need are here. The alcohol rehab, the drug rehab, and who say it? Maybe they're not using it, but it's there for them to use, and it's up to them to use. And with something like this being in place, when they see there are other people in the shelters using it, they're going to come on board and start using it also.
Mayor West also adds that he's heard from several other Delaware towns who are watching how the planned village goes with great interest because of the dire homelessness problem in the state. Malone says if the town decides not to spend the $500,000, the collaborative would have to ask the Sussex County Council, and that could delay those pallet homes until next year, meaning another winter for the homeless. Despite those concerns, the council moved to table the proposal.
And if you could try to somehow get the word out more, that you do have an office now.
Yes.
People can come in.
Can I count on the council members to get the word out?
Okay.
Thank you.
Send me information, I'll do my part.
Okay.
Thank you, Jed.
We have a lazy town.
In Georgetown, Jonathan Mistrop for TV Delmarva News.
Meanwhile, a Frankford man was arrested after police say he led them on a chase and was found with heroin and cocaine in Millsboro. According to Delaware State Police, around 3 p.m. Sunday, troopers on patrol near Millsboro spotted a motorcycle stopped on the east side of Cannon Road just north of Devon Road. Police say the motorcycle did not have a registration plate displayed and the driver was standing on the side of the road. Troopers tried to make contact with the driver, who police say tried to flee the scene on the motorcycle and then fled on foot. A foot chase then ensued, and the driver, later identified as 26-year-old Devon McCrae, was taken into custody without incident. A search of McCrae led to the discovery of approximately 1.7 grams of suspected heroin and approximately 12.22 grams of cocaine. McCrae was arraigned on a slew of charges and released on $31,000, $350 unsecured bond. Coming up, we sit down with AAA Mid-Atlantic to talk about the 20-cent increase in gas prices that we saw overnight here in Delaware. More details on the way. Don't go away. Well, when Delawareans went to bed Monday night, gas prices were around $3.99 a gallon. This morning's prices rose around 20 cents. We got the chance to sit down with AAA Mid-Atlantic's Ken Grant to discuss it.
So first of all, we have to look at the overall global issues. We are looking at, obviously, a war happening between Russia and Ukraine. We are looking at incidents in China with growing concerns over the Omicron variant spreading once again. These things all impact the oil prices as far as the price per barrel goes. Now, pulling it in closer to home, Delaware tends to end up swinging wildly at times simply because of our smaller size. So the stats kind of get skewed a little bit. We see this in a variety of areas, not just with gas prices. We see it when you start talking about, for instance, education test scores and other things. You have a smaller population, and so there's just a lot fewer numbers to work with. We also have this interesting situation with, Maryland, doing away with their gas tax for a short period of time and then coming back. So how does that affect supply and demand? There's a lot of factors that go into this. We're not sure exactly why the overnight trend hit so hard. Over the past week, we have seen significant increases in, Maryland, obviously, Kansas, South Dakota, Connecticut, Florida, all have risen a considerable amount in the past week or so. And we just hit that, overnight, all of a sudden kind of shocker that happened to everybody.
Well, it's looking like we're in store for scattered showers and cooler temperatures tonight as we get a preview of your pinpoint weather forecast with Hunter Alton.
We are patiently awaiting the arrival of a cold front to move through our area in the next several hours, giving us the chance of some scattered rain showers and maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. Cooler weather will filter in behind this front tonight, and we will see an increase in those winds over the next day or two. And a slow and steady warm-up is ahead towards this weekend, with more rain chances on the way early next week. Now, what can we expect from this cold front this evening? I'll let you know when we come back here on TV Delmarva, Channel 14 News. All right, Delmarva, let's get right into the pinpoint forecast for the overnight hours into the day. On Wednesday, we are watching for that cold front moving through over the next couple of hours, and that will be sparking some scattered showers earlier on, maybe a slight chance of an isolated thunderstorm, especially in the southern portions of the shore. But the good news is once that front moves through, we are going to be looking at decreasing clouds more towards tomorrow morning, and behind the front, we're going to be cooling things down as well. Your overnight lows 46 to 52 degrees, and also behind that front we're going to be increasing those winds as well from the northwest between 10 and 15 miles per hour. Take a look at the futurecast rest of the afternoon hours into tomorrow. This is about an hour from now, 5 o'clock. We're looking at areas of some scattered thunderstorms in southeastern Virginia. We're still fairly dry for the most part here on the shore, with temperatures in the 70s and cooling down towards the 60s on the Maryland western shore. It's once we get into 8 o'clock this evening, this is going to be the best chance of starting to see those scattered and isolated showers. Now, the best chance for maybe an isolated thunderstorm will be on the Virginia portions of Delmarva towards Exmoor and Cape Charles, with temperatures now into the 60s. Going into this evening, 11 o'clock, still got some leftover areas of some isolated and scattered showers. Temperatures have now fallen down into the lower 60s. But by the time we get to 2 o'clock in the morning, the precipitation should be well off of our coast. Still dealing with some cloud cover here and there, but those temperatures are beginning to drop down into the 50s. And waking up tomorrow morning, take a look at these temperatures. We're waking up in the mid and upper 40s, but the sun will be returning for the day on Wednesday. But keep in mind, during the afternoon hours, although we are going to be looking at plenty of sunshine, it's definitely going to be noticeably cooler as well, with temperatures as much as 10 degrees below average, maybe even struggling to get to 55 degrees in some locations, and the wind will be kicking up as well behind that front. And even by the evening hours, we're already down into the upper 40s for areas north of Dover with some cloud cover, still in the lower 50s for areas of central Delmarva. Wednesday forecast overall, we're going to be having a mixture of some clouds and sunshine, but definitely will be noticeably cooler than it has been over the last couple of days. Afternoon highs 52 to 57 degrees, but the biggest statement is going to be those winds tomorrow. Going to be quite gusty from the northwest, 10 to 20 miles per hour sustained, with some gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. And you know, anytime that we get fresh rainfall and the winds start kicking up, that allergy forecast is not going to be pretty. Here's your allergy index for tomorrow on Wednesday. Very high levels, 10.9 out of 12. Still dealing with that pesky tree pollen, with their main allergens being oak, ash, and birch trees going into Wednesday. Speaking of Wednesday, let's take a look at the marine conditions for that day, beginning with the Atlantic. We got mostly sunny skies, 50 degrees, winds from the northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour, with seas of 2 to 4 feet. Taking a look at the Delaware Bay, mostly sunny skies as well, 56 degrees, winds from the northwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour, with seas of 1 to 2 feet. And then the Chesapeake Bay, mostly sunny skies as well, a little bit warmer at 58 degrees, winds from the northwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour, and we got seas of 1 to 2 feet as well on the Chesapeake Bay. Now, once we get into the overnight hours tomorrow night, we are going to be looking at some mostly clear skies overall, but definitely a fairly chilly night for the month of April. Overnight lows, 36 to 42 degrees. Will still be a tad bit on the breezy side, but it will be calming down just a little bit. Still from the northwest, between 5 and 15 miles per hour. Now let's take a look at that extended outlook, because once we get past this front, we are going to be looking at much drier conditions and much cooler conditions as well. We're still going to be keeping the wind around going into Thursday, with highs in the upper 50s with plenty of sunshine. But going into this weekend, though, we are going to be looking at a steady warming trend, still dealing with some partly sunny skies overall. Another fantastic weekend ahead. Temperatures in the mid and upper 60s, but by the time we get into the start of next week, we are going to be introducing some rain chances both Monday and Tuesday, but those temperatures will be getting back into the lower 70s by Tuesday.
Coming up, Twitter has approved Elon Musk's offer to purchase the company. More details straight ahead. Keep it here. Twitter has accepted Elon Musk's offer to purchase the company. Twitter was in negotiations with Musk over the weekend, according to sources close to the company. The company announced that it had accepted Musk's offer on Monday. Musk revealed just last week that he had lined up $46.5 billion in financing to acquire the company. Twitter's board met on Sunday to evaluate his offer. Shares for the company skyrocketed as headlines broke that the two were nearing a deal. The two were able to reach an agreement to sell for $44 billion.
Weather Classroom is sponsored by No Nonsense Office Machines, committed to providing quality products and services with over 15 years of experience here in Sussex County. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today's weather lesson, we will be talking about another brand new parameter we came up with here at TV Delmarva to help combat tornado forecasting within storms in the near-time future, known as tornadic tilting and stretching. Similar properties to our Tornadic Energy Helicity Index, or THI for short, but it's geared towards events in the cooler seasons where instability is much lower, but the shear is much higher. These conditions are also very common here on Delmarva, where instability is hard to come by from time to time, but the wind shear is absolutely tremendous. TTS focuses on storm relative helicity in the lowest kilometer of the atmosphere, and CAPE, also known as instability, in the lowest 3 kilometers of the atmosphere. The presence of both ingredients suggests potential for increased low-level tilting and stretching of horizontal streamwise vorticity within the updraft, and in layman terms, basically taking rolling columns of air and tilting them into the vertical inside of the updraft, which may increase the potential for tornadic supercells. Enhancements are added based on total cape and deep layer shear that strengthens the overall updraft. LCL heights, which is the lowest portions of the cloud base, and convective inhibition are used as limiting factors when they are too high or large. In preliminary testing, values approaching 2 and greater suggest the potential for tornadic supercells. This experimental parameter is intended to help diagnose environments supporting tornadoes where total cape values is relatively small but promotes significant streamwise vorticity. Now until May 2nd, you have the chance to win one of these life-saving devices. Go to our website, tvdelmarva.com, and on the home page you will find a list of rules and contest details of how to enter for this giveaway. Fill out a short form, and 3 of you could have the chance to win one of these Midland WR120B NOAA weather radios from us here at TV Delmarva. We'd like to thank our sponsors Midland USA and Wall Service Center for this opportunity to help promote awareness of severe weather in our community.
Well, that about does it for us today, Delmarva. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at TV Delmarva and on our website, tvdelmarva.com, for real-time news and weather updates. And while you're there, be sure to sign our petition calling on the major cable providers to carry TV Delmarva on their platforms so we can provide this kind of local programming to all of Delmarva. Until next time, I'm Rob Petrie reporting for TV Delmarva, Channel 14 News.